Hi guys, welcome to the channel. This is just a short video really about me and the bike, what the channel's about. I acquired this bike as a birthday present off the missus during COVID-19 lockdown. I got it on the understanding it was a lockdown project. Needs a bit of work doing to it, like. So I'm just gonna show you around, tell you what I've got planned, what I've done already. So yeah, I'll show you that now. So this is a year 2000 Honda CB600FS Hornet. It's done 12,000 miles, I believe. Came to me in a bit of a sorry state in bits. I'll try and insert an image somewhere of the day that I got the bike and the condition that it was in. It was just basically a rolling chassis, no tank, no fairings on its seat, stuff like that. Obviously needs a bit of work done. It's been stood for a few years. I think the tax disc that was on it was 2013, so you know it's been stood for a couple of years at least. My first job was to get it back home, get it back up and running again, see if the engine's ticking over and stuff like that. Luckily it was, managed to get it running pretty soon. Just give it a nice deep clean, full service, change the oil plugs, stuff like that. I've done quite a bit of work on the bike already before I decided to document the journey and go down this route of YouTube and putting this out there. So I'll just show you a few of the bits now. The radiator, that was in a bit of a sorry state. It was all corroded and a bit battered and stuff like that. So I've managed to source a new radiator. It is a copy one, unfortunately, but the price of a new one from Honda is absolutely ridiculous. As I said, obviously the bike needs a lot of attention on it. I'll just show you the fork seals. I'm planning to do a video on these. I'm going to be taking them off the bike, stripping them down, refurbing them. As you can see there, the fork dust seals, they're in fairly corroded, bit of a sorry state. Fork arms, going to tidy them up a bit. As you can see, there's no calipers on the bike at the minute. They're currently getting refurbished, and I'm in the process of making a video on them at the minute as well, because I'm concentrating on rebuilding the front brakes at the minute, the front braking system. So as you can see, there's no calipers or brake lines. I've got the master cylinder on. That's just been fully rebuilt, although I'm missing a screw there because numpty here decided to drop the screw and I've lost it somewhere. So that's going to cost me a couple of quid to replace, knowing the price of Honda. So front braking system, that's in the process of getting done. The next video to be released after this probably most likely will be either the brake master cylinder or the calipers getting refurbed. I've gone through the cooling system also. As I said, the radiator, I took the fan off, refurbished that, make sure it was all working sound. While I had the cooling system off, obviously the hoses and stuff, they were all old and slightly perished and stuff like that. I've decided to go with the silicone hoses from AS3. So we've got some nice new hoses there all round. I've gone through, changed the thermostat. The thermostat was knackered, so I've gone through and changed that. New battery. The swing arm, I've had the swing arm off the bike, stripped that down, all the factory paint, polished it up back to chrome. The exhaust, as you can see there's still quite a few scratches in it. When that comes to me, there was a couple of deep scratches in there, so I've had that off and wet sanded it, polished most of the big scratches out. The rear shock's looking a bit old and tired. It doesn't feel too clever either, so at some point I'm either going to take that off, refurbish it, powder coat the spring, or replace it with an aftermarket shock, a whole new shock assembly. Not too sure at this point. We move over the water pump. I've had that off, give it a quick refurb, replace the seals. There's the hoses, as I said before, from the other side, the AS3s. I've had the carburetor bank off the bike, stripped it down completely, rebuilt it all. I've got some pictures somewhere. The insides of them were absolutely disgusting, full of crud and deposits. So hopefully I'll try and insert that image somewhere if I can. Fuel tank, I've had an absolute nightmare with the fuel tank. The one that came with the bike, as I've said, or I might not have said, bear with me, it was full of holes, absolutely corroded and rusted through completely. So I managed to find a fuel tank online in the same colour blue as well, so it was colour matched. I thought happy days, the price was pretty good, I was made up with it. Couldn't wait for it to arrive, so about a week later, still no sign. Got in touch with the fella. He said, oh, I think your tank's lost in the post. So I refunded for that. And then I managed to find this fuel tank from a breaker's yard. So got this one on, just to get the bike running first. I wasn't too bothered about the condition. As you can see, it's obviously off a crash damaged bike. But as I said, I'm not bothered what it looks like, as long as it does its job for now, just to get the bike running. I'm happy. But I have since sourced another fuel tank. It come in a green, unfortunately, but not a big deal. So I've stripped that down, sanded it back down to bare metal, sanded it, got it nice and smooth, primed, painted. So that's all painted up with the graphics lacquered, the lot, that's in storage. So when the bike's done, I'm going to throw that on last. That's good to go. Now obviously there was a bit of damage on the bike, as you can see. It has been down, slid down the road a little bit. So I've got to work my way through all the bodywork. So also going to rebuild the back brake caliper. I've got a rebuild kit here for both the front and the back calipers. So I've got new pads, springs, pins, seals, fluid, the lot. So there's probably a lot of stuff that I've missed out on this. As I said, I did go through the bike when I first got it, before I started documenting and stuff like that. So there's probably a lot that I've missed out. But we'll see what happens from here. And moving forward now, I'm going to try and document all the stuff that I go and work my way through the bike and show you guys the journey, things that are getting replaced and refurbished and stuff like that. So I have got a few ideas in the pipeline. There's a few jobs that I've got left to do on the list. As I said, I'm going to be doing the forks, got to do all the body work. I'm going to refurbish the wheels, most probably. You know, brakes, wheels, forks. Obviously when the time comes, you're going to need new tyres, because these are really old and they're full of cracks and really dry and brittle and stuff like that. I've had a quick run through the electrics and stuff like that. They don't seem to be in too bad of a condition. Obviously I've got a little bit of work to do still, obviously, and source some indicators, get them on, but obviously that's further down the road. But overall I'm made up with the bike. It's you know, a decent little bike. It's a year 2000. Hopefully you can see that, you pick it up on the camera there. 12,000 miles for a year 2000 bike. I don't think it's too bad myself. So yeah, hopefully you guys will stick around if you want to see what's to come and me rebuilding this. I'd appreciate you hitting the like button and consider subscribing if you do want to see what's to come, and going through this bike and getting it built back up into a roadworthy condition. So thanks for watching, guys. and I'll see you soon.